How often do you analyze your thoughts? The average person has between 12,000 and 60,000 thoughts that pass through their mind every day. Now, how often do you actually stop and think about those thoughts? Now, before I looked into and researched how to think clearly, I would never stop and think about my thoughts. Just like you, I would go about my day, thoughts would pass through my mind, new thoughts would enter in, and I'd end up with a jumbled mess of what felt like a million thoughts all at the same time. Thoughts that were unclear, thoughts that were confusing, simply because I didn't have the time or the ability to organize my thinking. Your thinking probably starts out like this too, jumbled and confused, and you might have noticed that this can be reflected in your communication, which can sound jumbled and confused as a result. This is completely normal if you have never learned how to think. And I think this is the very first lesson that I want you to walk away with from this clear thinking video, is that it's completely normal for your thoughts to be disorganized, for your thoughts to be jumbled and muddled and all mixed together. You just have to know how to get clarity on those thoughts, and giving your mind the space to do that is something that's really important to achieve clear thinking. So in my pursuit for clear thinking, I found that taking the time to pause and to quieten my mind has helped me immensely to think clearly. Think of all the distractions that come at you throughout the day. Whenever you're having your thoughts, think of all the distractions that come along with that. You probably have visual distractions, which come in the form of a video or an image, or maybe people walking down the street that you see walk by as you are having your thoughts. It could be auditory distractions with music, with a phone dinging, a notification from your computer, you have an email message coming into your email inbox. There could be a lawnmower going on in the garden at the office next door. All of these things are distractions that can derail your thinking and distract you from actually giving yourself the time to really think about your thoughts, to get clarity on those thoughts and to try and organize them better. And all of these distractions usually happen at the exact same time as we are trying to think about our thoughts. So it's very difficult to give our thoughts the time, the attention, and the focus that they need for them to be unjumbled and for them to be organized better. But if you take the time to pause, if you take a deep breath in, just for a couple of seconds, let it out, and then pause, connect with your thoughts. Try to connect with your thoughts better, to give them the time and the space that they need for you to be able to organize them and think about them in a clearer way. This isn't easy to do, and the very first time you're trying to do it, doing it on the spot will be very, very difficult. So what I recommend you to do is to allocate thinking time throughout your day. Do this for a couple of weeks and see how you go. Develop the routine and the mental ability to pause and to reflect on your thoughts and to think about your thoughts. Then once you are practiced in doing that, once you are good at thinking about your thoughts during your thinking time, then you can do it on the spot and in moments when you're required to do it in the immediate moment, like meetings or like conversations with other people. Now, as you pause, you need to do something that is really, really important. You need to actually tune into your thoughts. You need to analyze them. You need to decipher them. You really need to understand them. This I found really hard to do because we get into the habit of letting our thoughts just pass by through our mind. The distractions come in and we let those distractions take over our thought process, and all of our focus goes to those distractions, and our thoughts just pass by through our mind, and we tell ourselves that, well, they weren't really important thoughts anyway, so it's okay if I just let them pass by. But how do you know they weren't important thoughts? If you didn't give that thought the time or the attention that it needed to really focus on it, to really understand it, to really analyze and decipher it, if you didn't give that thought that kind of time and attention, how do you know if it was an important thought or not? So I know it's really difficult, but I encourage you to try and tune into your thoughts. When you are pausing, giving yourself the time to think about those thoughts, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be tuning into those thoughts. Really try to think about them, analyze them, and understand them in a deeper way. If you like what you're learning so far in this video, then you'll definitely like my weekly newsletter where I share additional tips and advice with you. And the sign up link for that is in the description below, and you will get a free gift from me if you do sign up. One thing that really helped me immensely to get clear thinking and to give my thoughts the time and attention that they need and analyze them better was to actually write those thoughts on paper. I would open a notebook. I carry around a notebook with me where I can just jot down my notes and my thoughts. If a phone or something digital works better for you, then that's totally okay. But I would write them down in my notebook. I would write down what that thought was and then why I thought that way. So to give you an example, I think running is the best form of exercise. That is my thought. That is what I think. That is what I believe. Another thing that I think is that running is way better for me than swimming or any other kinds of cardio exercise. That is another thought. So I write that down in my notebook as well. I write both of those thoughts down in my notebook. Then I look at why I think this way. So I reflect on that. I give that thought the time and attention it needs, and I understand why I actually do think that way. And it is because I feel so much more energetic in my 40s than I did in my 20s when I did not run. So that is why I think that running is the best form of exercise. Basically, it is the reason for why I think the way that I do. And this is what you're trying to achieve when you're writing down your thoughts in your notebook, when you're trying to write down what that thought is and then why you think that way. So what I did with this activity is instead of just having the thought, running is great, and stopping there, I delved deeper. I analyzed that thought. I deciphered it. I understood it in a deep way to really get to that foundation of that thought. Where did it come from? Why do I think that way? And it's in this place where you start to get clarity on that thought because you understand that thought and you feel it in a deep way. It's not a superficial thing that just passes through your mind and then just leaves and you never think about that thought again. You get to the core of that thought. You really get it. You really feel it. And when it comes to clear thinking, you also need to take into account your assumptions that influence your thinking. Now, assumptions are like mental shortcuts that are usually formed from past experiences or patterns that shape our perceptions and our thoughts. Assumptions help us to create our thoughts quickly because it's much easier mentally to make decisions or to create thoughts based on assumptions than without. So going back to the running example I used before, I like running. I think it is the best form of exercise, better than swimming and better than walking. But this is only because it's based on my past experience with running. And this has led me to assume that running is the best form of exercise. But what about somebody who can't run? What about somebody who has bad knees or if they're in a wheelchair and they just can't run? Their past experience will be very different to mine, and that past experience will lead them to different assumptions about what is the best form of exercise. Here's another example. Let's say you recently did a public speaking engagement and you weren't very good at it. You forgot most of the points that you had to talk about. So your experience was negative, and this led you to assume that you were not good at public speaking. But is that the truth? Is that the reality? It's only based on that one past experience, and that led you to assume that you were not good at public speaking. What if you reframed your mental approach to public speaking? What if you got some practice in speaking publicly, in giving presentations, in giving speeches? What if you improved your ability in this area? Well, you would change your experience. You would have a better experience when you speak publicly. You'd feel more positive and confident about it. And this would change your assumption as to whether you are good at public speaking or not. So do you see how your assumptions, which are based on your past experiences, how those assumptions influence your thinking, influence your thoughts? This is something really important that you need to understand, especially when you're aiming for clear thinking. You have to understand that your past experiences will create assumptions in your mind. Those assumptions will lead you to create certain thoughts. But this can all be changed if you go and change your past experience. If you have a different past experience to someone else, you will have different assumptions, therefore you'll probably both have different thoughts. I think the key here is to really understand that your assumptions are an important part of your thinking process. If you understand your assumptions, if you understand why you feel that way, why you think that way, this will allow you to understand your thoughts better, which will lead you to think more clearly about your thoughts, to have clearer thinking, and hopefully clearer communication as well. Many people are familiar with the concept of rewriting an essay or an email or rewriting a book, but are you familiar with the concept of rewriting your thought? A lot of us think about our thoughts as being the final product, a finished product, that once we have our thought there, it cannot be changed, it cannot be rewritten. But is that true? We were talking before about assumptions and how assumptions can influence our thinking and influence the thoughts that we have. So if we change our experience, that might change our assumption, and that might also change the thoughts that we actually generate in our mind. So in theory, we could rewrite the thoughts that we have. We can change our thoughts. We can think differently about things if we want to, or if our past experiences change, our thoughts can change with it. So extending on the process of writing your thoughts like I talked about earlier in this video, I encourage you to rewrite your thoughts after you have gone through the process of analyzing and understanding your assumptions that have led to that thought. So in this process, you would write down the assumption, you would think about the thought, you would write down the assumption that you have that led to that thought, and then you would look at it and decide if you want to change that final thought or not. This act of writing your thoughts or even rewriting your thoughts has immense value on getting clarity on your thoughts, because the act of writing your thoughts on a piece of paper, and it can probably even work if you're writing it on a computer, the act of writing your thoughts gets you a bigger and a stronger connection to those thoughts. Like, you externalize them, you can see them on that piece of paper, you can analyze those thoughts better, you can decipher them better, you can untangle them better, and it gets you closer to thinking clearly about those thoughts throughout this whole writing process. If writing isn't effective for you, if this just doesn't work for you, then speaking your thoughts can also be effective in helping you getting clarity on those thoughts. So what you would do here is you would speak to somebody else and share those thoughts with somebody else. You can even speak to yourself if that works as well. But just externalizing those thoughts verbally can help you to get clarity on the thoughts that you have tangled in your mind. This is something that I did recently when I was trying to work out what task I was going to give priority to, what task I was going to work on first. I had a bunch of different tasks that I needed to work on, and I was really not sure. It was unclear to me as to which task was the most important for me to work on at that time, at that moment. So I had a conversation with my husband about this, and this really helped me to get clarity on which task was the most important that I needed to work on very first. I found that in these types of conversations, simply sharing your thoughts can really help you to get clarity on those thoughts. But then you can also get the perspectives of the other person that you were talking to. They can bring in their perspective and share different ideas with you, which can also help you get clarity on the thoughts that you were having that were all jumbled and tangled in your mind. Or the other person might actually highlight assumptions that you have that led to those thoughts that you created. When they highlight those assumptions, you might realize that that thought was incorrect, or it should be changed, or it should be pivoted in some way. So this might lead you to rewrite that thought in your mind and to come up with an entirely different thought in the end. So I hope this video has given you some ideas and different ways of thinking about your thinking and thinking about how to get clear thinking. We've talked about a lot in this video, but there is one additional video on my channel that I think will really help you out. It will go through the read, write, speak method, which I think is very effective for clear thinking. It will really help you to articulate your thoughts a lot clearer, which will definitely help you in your career and in your business as well. So that video is up here if you want to watch it next. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and got value from it, and I will see you next week in another video.